तो बात करते हैं आपके कैफे की. What's so special about Dave's American Cafe?
I had some boys come once and they were telling me that, sir, you're an American. I'm sorry, आपका अंग्रेज है. अंग्रेज के they don't know anything about
पहला
spice.
सेंटेंस इनका हिंदी में निकला
हाँ नहीं
है.
वो ठीक है पर अंग्रेज का कोई नहीं पता लग गया कि जो मिर्ची तो कुछ नहीं पता लगा.
अच्छा. वो
Americans-
क्लाइंट आपको बोलता है.
हाँ
हाँ.
कोई 3-4 पंजाबी लोग से आया था. They want to know how I make my food the way I make it. And कैसे how can they make it for their boyfriends? Can they come and learn? I said, please, Ajo. I tell them all, Ajo, and nobody ever shows.
No, I didn't.
कोई स्मेल आया था अगर मैं सोचूंगी तो कोई अच्छा नहीं है मैं तो सारा पैक किया.
अभी अब ज्यादा अच्छा बोल दिया आपने तो. अभी नहीं.
मैं तो नहीं समझ because मैं तो नहीं सोचते.
हाँ.
अगर तो मैं सोच लिया फिर तो प्रॉब्लम आ जाएगी.
हाँ अभी इतना अच्छे से आपने फ्लुएंटली बोल गया.
So I was in a really weird mood. So I made these French fries with Nutella on top and caramel and powdered sugar. And she said, "What is this?" And I said, "You have fries there." She's like, "I can't eat these. I'll get fat." I'm like, "You're a dancer. You can just dance it off." But she never ate them.
You were there, like you worked as a chef for 25 years.
Yes.
And how was your experience as a chef?
I started actually as a dishwasher. I started as a just base person. I started my uncle's 5-star restaurant in Beverly Hills. He had an Indian restaurant.
So how did you get the custody also of a property? Because it must have been a...
It's ancestral property. And the land was already in my name. My stepsister was born, and she was now the apple darling of the thing. And
You felt left out?
yes, I felt very, very left out, and I was wondering that why I've come here because okay, I know I made that choice, but still.
So do you also believe that your disturbed childhood does reflect in your other relationship as well, in your marital relationship as well?
It does. I mean, the stuff that happened during my thing, there's baggage, and it's always going to be baggage. But I feel it's how you deal with your baggage.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Dimpled Way. मैं हूँ आपकी होस्ट प्रियंका सारस्वत और आज के एपिसोड में मैंने बात की शेफ़ देवेंद्र एस महल से, जिनकी स्टोरी बहुत ही इंस्पायरिंग है और आज के यूथ को बहुत इंस्पिरेशनल लगने वाली है क्योंकि हमने इनके पर्सनल और प्रोफेशनल एस्पेक्ट सब के बारे में बात की. वो एक बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग फैमिली लीनियज से आते हैं जिनकी मदर जर्मन थी, पापा पंजाबी सिख थे और 25 साल तक एज अ शेफ़ उन्होंने अमेरिका में काम किया और फिर वापस वो आते हैं इंडिया और यहाँ आके अपना खुद का कैफ़े खोलते हैं जिसका नाम है देव्स अमेरिकन कैफ़े. एंड इस कैफ़े के बारे में बहुत स्पेशल बातें हैं जो हम उनसे खुद से डिस्कस करेंगे और उसके साथ साथ ही हैज़ हिज ओन फार्म एज वेल. सो उनकी फैमिली के एस्पेक्ट्स, उनके पर्सनल एस्पेक्ट्स के बारे में हम बात करेंगे और उनसे हमें ये जानने को मिला कि जब आप एक सक्सेसफुल इंसान को देखते हैं उसके साथ में उनके इतने सालों का एक्सपीरियंस होता है. देयर इज़ अ स्टोरी ऑफ पेन, स्टोरी ऑफ परसिवरेंस, पेशेंस एंड देयर आर सो मेनी सेक्रीफाइसेस दैट द सक्सेसफुल पर्सन हैज़ टू गो थ्रू. बिकॉज दिखता तो हमें बस वो सक्सेसफुल पर्सन है, बट through this podcast we are going to talk about those insights of his life and it's definitely going to inspire you. So please welcome Chef Devendra S. Mahal with us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming, sir. It's an honor to be having you with us.
It is a pleasure to be here on the Dimpled Way.
Thank you, sir. तो बात करते हैं आपके कैफे की. What's so special about Dave's American Cafe?
What is special about Dave's? It's more of a personalized experience. When people come to the cafe, it is not so much your typical cafe or typical restaurant where I would say people just take the food and leave. They come in, there's pictures of my family, pictures of me with celebrities, pictures of history from all over the world on the walls. And people like to interact and sort of like feel like they're out of their own problems. There used to be a TV series back in the 70s, 80s called Cheers. It was about a Boston bar, and it was always a place where everybody knew your name. And the premise of that bar was that when you came in, it was like a coming home. And my cafe is sort of like that.
ओके, तो आपके बचपन की बात करते हैं। आई थिंक ये क्यूरियोसिटी बहुत लोगों को रहती है दैट यू लुक वेरी यू डोंट लुक इंडियन बिकॉज़ यू हैव रूट्स आई मीन हाफ इंडियन, हाफ अमेरिकन आई थिंक। योर मॉम वाज़ जर्मन, राइट?
Right.
सो वी वांट टू नो अबाउट दैट।
So my mother was her name was Barbara May Kruger, and she was Catholic when before in the when she was born she was Catholic with because we come from an Orthodox Catholic background from my grandfather's side,
Mhm,
but she turned into Quakerism, became a Quaker in the 50s, and she met my dad I think around 59,
mhm.
58 or 59, and
In America
in
only, no?
America only,
Mm,
and they fell in love. And dad and mom were going to the same college.
okay.
Dad was going to Rutgers University in New Jersey. He
Mm,
was studying horticulture, and my mom was studying psychology.
mm,
And they fell in love, and they got married in '62. And I came around in '65. I was born, so
mm.
it's been a pretty momentous thing after that.
So what values did you imbibe from your mother and dad? Because both are from the different cultures. It's a
Mm,
very beautiful thing
like
as well.
like Quakerism is it's a pacifist religion. Quakerism is a form of Christianity where we believe in sitting and um, we sit in the light, we sit in silence, and we let the light manifest into us,
Mm,
and we speak when we feel that there is something important to say. It's
mm,
sort of like God is manifesting through you.
mm,
Whereas Sikhism can be a little bit militant on one side if you're going towards Gobind Singh's
mm,
time. But if you go back to the roots of where Guru Nanak came from, then that's a very pacifist, again, religion.
mm,
He was only about taking the tenets of the different religions and forming it into one that could be encompassed by all.
mm,
So, like, I've read a lot of Guru Nanak's books and teachings. I really have always loved that whole feeling of giving back, seva, giving back to the community, giving back to people.
mm,
I believe very firmly in that, and I've tried to do that a lot in my life.
mm. Okay, so you were there, like you worked as a chef for 25 years.
Yes.
And how was your experience as a chef?
I started actually as a dishwasher. I started as a just base person. I started my uncle's five-star restaurant in Beverly Hills. He had an Indian restaurant, and I got my start there. He gave me the basic training, and from there I got a job in this restaurant called By McGee's.
Mm-hmm.
Also as a dishwasher. Started in '84. I helped close. They were putting together a new restaurant in Burbank, and I was there when they were putting the final touches on the restaurant. So I worked actually building part of it
Mm,
because they allowed you to build and gave you money for it.
mm,
And then I got a full training, and I started as a dishwasher, and I worked my way up. And after about 5 years, I hit the executive chef. At that time, it was like a kitchen manager, but
mm,
there the kitchen managers are the executive chefs. They
mm,
only answer to only the general manager and the kitchen manager have equal power in the restaurant, and they only answer to their supervisors.
mm,
So, and the other echelons of the restaurant. So,
mm,
I worked with them for quite a few years and met lots of great people and lots of great experiences. But like working, it's a passion as well as a
mm,
business. I mean,
mm,
there's a lot of pressure, especially in the U.S. Working in restaurants is a lot of pressure.
mm. So then you decided to come back to India, which is like
So
decided come like you used to like visit
I
India
no, I
earlier?
never visited. I came here. I came back to the U.S. or I came back to India
Mm,
in '96. I had come to California. I was living in California, and one of my cousins passed away, and I had gone up to Pinole, up near San Francisco, to his funeral.
oh,
And my grandfather's eldest brother was there, and he saw that I was there, and I'm the only Mahal from my grandfather's side that has the family name. I have a chacha with three daughters, and my dad had three daughters and me, so I'm the only
the
grandson.
younger one, the
I
youngest one in your
no,
siblings.
I'm the oldest.
Acha.
I'm the firstborn. All
Mm.
my siblings are much younger than me.
They're settled
But
in India only?
no, no, my stepsister lives in India.
Mm,
We're not very close,
mm.
but my sisters, my real sisters, one's in Canada. She has her own Mahal Labs, and she's a very accomplished professor of
Oh.
glycology and glyconomics, and she has a Wikipedia page like 2 pages long. It's pretty impressive.
Wow.
And my other sister, her twin, she lives in California and she's a school teacher. Yeah, they're
Twins.
twins. She lives in California and she's a school teacher, and she's a book writer. She's written quite a few children's books, and she has 3 children. Her husband is a professor a tenured professor in Santa Cruz of game theory. He's one of the top game theorists in the world. So it's pretty interesting. Like I don't talk to them very much. That's mostly after my mom and dad. Like my dad and mom, they divorced in '77, and I came here to India following their divorce. So
Okay.
dad,
You stayed with your dad and they with the
they
mother?
they all stayed with we all stayed with my dad. My dad took me and my sisters from the U.S. to India,
Okay.
and
It must have been difficult, I mean, so
yeah,
long.
it was very difficult. And India was a very different place in the '70s. So we came in '78, and in '78 when we came
What was
here,
your age that time?
I would have been 13.
13 only, okay.
And when I came here in '78, my dad put me in Woodstock School in Missouri. So I went to Woodstock School 79, 80, and part of 81, and I left there in 81. My dad, my mother came from the U.S. to India, and she fought a custody case here that went all the way to the Supreme Court. And it was a very big,
It was mess. It
monumental,
was a mess.
it was a very big mess. And my sisters, like my dad picked up, or my mother picked up the custody of my sisters because they were younger. They were only 7 years old that time.
The
They're
twin
born in
sisters.
yeah, they're born in '72. So they were only 7 and 7 or 8, and so mom got the natural custody because mothers
The
get.
mother is.
And but I was already, I think, 15 at that time, and they asked me if I wanted to stay with my dad or my mom. So I felt that since mom is having my sisters, dad should have somebody.
You
So I
were that like understanding of the fact
Yeah,
that
yeah. So I chose to stay with my dad, but my dad had remarried, and I had a
by
stepmother.
then.
Yeah, he had remarried, and I had a stepmother, and she was a very nice person. But they decided to have a child together, and with the child coming into life and everything, they found that I was just sort of more of a problem in their thing. So my mom said that I was really sorry. Can you please come back to the U.S.? So I came back to the U.S. and I lived in the U.S. with my mom for a while. But then that also was just a ploy. She wanted, she didn't really want me. She wanted to hurt my dad. So my mom asked, like, my mom brought me back to New Jersey at those days, and when I would not part with my property because property was in my name because I'm the only grandson.
This one.
So
You have
this property
donated.
that I own now, uh, since I would not part with the property, because parting with the property would have hurt my dad and hurt my grandfather. So since I would not sign over to my mother threw so just
So
put
she
me on a.
wanted the property to
She
like.
wanted.
That's why she called you
That's
there.
right.
So you felt it. It was a
It
like
was very hurtful, and
hurtful.
I
Yeah.
went back to the U.S. Sorry, back to India. I came back to India. She put me on a plane and just sent me back to India.
Oh
She
damn.
didn't tell my dad that I was coming. I just landed here. Nobody knew I was arriving, and I had like I my father's
And how
four.
old were you that time?
I think about 16.
Such a
and
teeny.
and my father's 4 sisters married all Indian military, so I knew some people in the military in Delhi, and we went to. I told the taxi driver to go there that they would pay him, and when we went, they had been shifted because they were in the Air Force, and you get squadrons get shifted and whatnot. So I knew somebody else that was in the home ministry, a friend of my chacha's, and we went there, and that guy was still there. So they called my family, and my father came, and they were very angry. And now again, I stayed in India, but now I could not go back to Woodstock School because my mother had tried to abduct me from school when I was living there, when I was in school.
Why so?
Um, that was her thought because my dad had abducted us from the U.S., so my mom had tried to do the same thing here. So it's a very
But you became a way of punishment. I mean, I think
it's
a victim
like
of the punishment.
when people see today where I am now, a lot of people have a very misgiving that people just become successful just because,
Yes, yes, yes.
it's so easy, but it's not. There's like, if you look at all of the different world figures, if you actually went back into their histories and saw all the struggles they had to do, all the pain, all the stuff that, went on to them to make them where they are now or where they have become, it's incredible. Nobody has ever gotten anywhere just because um, God gifted it. It was because of hard work. Everybody has a lot of mental anguish and mental pain. I had lots of mental pain and all this stuff. And I came back here, and by that time, my sister had been born, and my stepsister was born, and she was now the apple darling of the thing. And
You felt left out?
yes, I felt very, very left out, and I was wondering that why I've come here because, okay, I know I made that choice, but still, it really, there was nowhere to go to school. They put me in St. Thomas School Jacobsbury for a while because it was English medium. Then I went to like an open school, which was like correspondence courses, and I did tutoring in Mustafabad, which
Mm.
is near where our village was. And somewhere during all this, my mother had moved to California, and then she had felt that I had made a mistake. She had made a mistake, and that I should come back to live. And my dad was not really interested in having me, and I was really.
So there was a detachment that what formed with each other?
There was a lot of detachment because my stepmother was not very happy with me being there. Because how can you be? I mean, I'm just being honest here about this. Like, my stepmother is 10 years older than I am. So when you have a 16, 17-year-old young male living in your household, and as you're the stepmother, you're just 27. 10 years is not a big gap. 10 years can be a
It's
big gap in other
siblings.
ages, but in this regard, it was a very small gap.
Mm.
And she was very ill at ease that she had an older boy that she really didn't know or how to get along with living there. And she also, I think, influenced my dad that he should send me back to live with my mom.
Mm.
So again, I went back and lived with my mom. Now, mom had moved to California, and that went for a while, a little bit, and then that also devolved, and she threw me out of the house. And
Your mom,
yeah,
your real mom.
yeah, my real mom. She threw me out of the house in '83. She threw me out of the house, and my this uncle, he was the best man at my dad's wedding. He's not a blood relative, but he could have been, and he took me under his wing and had me live in Beverly Hills with him at his house, and he nurtured me and helped me out, and that is where I got to, or the start of where I
That's how you
got here.
started as a dishwasher
Yeah,
because you didn't have any other
yeah, yeah.
comfort.
I mean, it's been a real rough time. I could have taken a GED. There's lots of things I could have done, but I found that like after you start proving yourself at work, and they start seeing that who you are and what kind of perseverance, what kind of, not, it's not just talent, just that perseverance, that willingness to learn, and all of that stuff. They're no longer interested so much in do you have a valid high school diploma, where you went to. People judge, at least in those days, in the
Mm.
80s,
Mm.
they judged it on work
Mm.
and how well you worked. And if you were a good worker, if you listened well, you had some talent, they were much more willing to invest in you. See, I really loved Bobby McGee's as a company, and I loved the owner. They sent me to all these self-empowerment courses and classes. The owner was a person that believed in investing in his employees, first in his vice presidents, and later in his supervisors, and then eventually chefs and assistant chefs, that investing into them, because he felt that if he invested in their personal lives and helped make their personal lives stronger,
Mm.
what much stronger of a restaurant he would have.
Mm.
And that really helped me out. It got rid of a lot of that anger and fire and all the stuff past that I was dragging along with me from my parents' divorce and from custody cases and all that stuff. It leaves scars on your
It does.
soul. So that got rid of a lot of that. Not all of it, it's still there, but it's much less now. And people like I had a mentor, Joe Gonzalez, who was tremendous in my life. I mean, was um, he was my assistant chef, and he saw this gangly youth. There would be company parties. He would take me to his house and dress. I still remember he got me a jacket and got me a tie and fixed me up so that I looked presentable, and really took me under his wing like a big brother to a younger brother. And I still really appreciate it. He's become a millionaire and he's got this huge company now, and I'm so proud of him and where he's at. And yet, it's because of people like that that I became who I am. It's been just so many great mentors in my life, and those people, they took me under their wings when nobody else would, and worked hard to make me into something else.
So, do you feel it is God's way to protect you or send you blessings
It
through
is.
somebody else?
It is like my wife Preeti that I'm married to now. Uh, when we were first dating, and even up until the time we were going to get married, we kept trying to pull apart from each other. We would have fights. We would like just try to pull apart, and for whatever reason, God would stick us back together again, and we could never really draw apart. So that's why we're still married, because God keeps seeing, everything I see is there is a reason for everything. I'm not I don't identify as a Christian or a Sikh or anything. I believe in God. I think it's called agnostic. I'm a believer in God. There is a God. I really believe that, but I'm not fully religious anywhere. But I do feel that there is a plan, and sometimes when one door is closed, another door opens. Like we used to be in this school, the British school. That's where my cafe started out with, and after 3 years, we had a big problem with the school, and we ended up closing. One of the gentlemen that used to come to my cafe, he's a biker, just cut in Penang, and he had been telling me for a year before that I have a place in TDI, Cutter. Why don't you come over here? And I saw it. It didn't look like much, but I said, okay, could have potential. We could do it. And that was in 2019. We went there, and we're still there. And now business has really progressed. And I'm always thankful that for people like him who really could see and could believe that I could do something more. And eventually, through a lot of perseverance and hard work, it has gotten that way.
Okay. So, do you also believe that your disturbed childhood, any child disturbed childhood, does reflect in your other relationship as well, in your marital
It does.
relationship as well?
It does. I mean, the stuff that happened during my thing, there's baggage, and it's always going to be baggage. But I feel it's how you deal with your baggage. Some people like to lay around and just say, "Oh well, I can't do anything else." It's woe is me, woe is me. I have met people that are like I know a musician who has a club foot and walks just like a normal person, and he's born with that club foot and has overcome his disability. And yet you see other people that sit there on the side begging because they're disabled, which they could do something about it, but they don't want to. It's cheaper and easier to beg than it is to go out. So yes, the baggage is there. The baggage will always be there. But counseling and, like I said, all these self-empowerment courses and going to all these things, seminars, the company spent a lot of money pushing me through a lot of seminars for their betterment, but it was also my betterment. And to this day, I feel so much more comfortable in myself because of all of that.
Okay, so in 1996, you decided to come to India permanently, right, and start your own.
Not permanently. I came here to get married. I
Okay,
my
pre
so
the
so like I said, I had my cousin had died, and I had gone to Pinole and ran into my Babaji, and my Babaji got really angry because his grandson had died, and he told one of his sons there that this is my younger brother's son,
Hmm.
and he's not married, and he has no progeny, and you get him married. So one of my Tayaji's, he took it under his advisement, and his wife arranged the marriage through some relative of hers that lived up near Batinda. And it was an arranged marriage, and I was married to her for 12 years.
Hmm.
It could have worked.
What went wrong?
Well, a lot of things. One, the biggest thing is communication. When I met her, like they told me she spoke 100% English, but she could say hi and hello, and that's it.
Hmm.
And I could speak no Punjabi or Hindi.
Hmm.
So when you marry someone and you cannot even communicate basic language, there's a problem. Then her parents had lied about all her ages and everything. They had changed her details on her passport with her elder sister's passport.
Like to
Her
look
el-
young, older, to be suitable
yes,
to your age. Why
that
so?
because they wanted her to go to the U.S.
He
And
was underage at that time.
yes,
Hmm.
she was just about 17 when we got married, which I found out later.
Oh, it
Um,
felt like a
it was
betrayal
a
too.
very big betrayal because her name was Rimplejeet. Actually, her name was Rimpy, and Rimplejeet was her actual name. But on paperwork, she's Charanjeet because
That's her older
Charanjeet,
sister.
that's right, and she
Hmm.
was mentally retarded. Older sister was mentally retarded, so they swapped the paperwork with their elder sister, who is 28, with the youngest daughter, who is
So
17.
it was not based on emotions. It was just kind of a my. I don't think.
You know, marrying someone who has not finished their matriculation, does not speak English, can only speak Punjabi. She had, like, she was a really nice girl, pretty girl, but the first couple of years of our marriage, she did not want to learn English. I'm not going to learn English until I go to the U.S.
Hmm.
That caused
Acha, you stayed
that.
here
Yeah, I
here only
lived
for
on
some
my
time.
farm for a couple of years,
Hmm.
and that caused lots of undue stress. My father had gone to the U.S. at that time
Hmm.
because one of my sisters were getting married, so he went there and left me with my stepmother. My stepmother and I didn't get along, so I converted my father's offices into a house, which is where now I keep as my house now,
Where here only. No? Hmm.
in
Hmm.
on my farm.
Okay.
And Dad was really pissed off about it, but it's okay.
Hmm.
I had come from a U.S. system, and in the U.S. we live separate. We're not here. It's more about joint family. There, it's about separate living,
Hmm.
and I was not used to that living
Sharing the same
together.
place. Hmm.
So it was okay. Like Charanjit also did not want to live there originally, but eventually she grew to the idea, and she spent a lot of time living on her with her parents and not living on the farm with me, and that caused more rifts because she did not want to, like, she'd been told that I was going to just take her back to the U.S. And nobody told me I was taking her back to the U.S. I hadn't been in U.S. for like about almost 15 years, and I wanted to sort of like see what living with my dad is, and like try to mend fences with my father.
Reconciled. Hmm.
And but yeah, we ended up after 2 years going to the U.S., and then we went back to the U.S., and I went and worked at some other places as chef, other places, and life progressed. And but um, then, like, my dad had some problems, so I came back here to India
Health
at
issues.
some health issues, and my wife stayed there with my uh, Tayaji and Taiji, and then I again went there, and we went and we met my mother, who was living in Florida. She was in a nursing home, or in
Your bond
not
with her was like better by now
yeah, yeah. We got
with
like
time.
we got after I came back to the U.S., and after I'd become a little bit successful in in working for other companies. Mom and I sort of like got a little bit better together. She moved to Florida in the meantime, and she lived in a house that was provided by her adopted brother in St. Pete, and I used to visit with my mom once in a while, and it just so happened that my mom wanted to meet my wife. So my wife and I, we went to Florida. We met my mother, and they invited us in. We had a really nice, like, 1 week stay there in St. Petersburg. And then my mom was asking, because she was handicapped, and she
Your
was
mom?
yeah, she had a neurological disease and she was handicapped. She was in a wheelchair all the time. So she had to have somebody taking care of her all the time, and she asked if like my wife said that I'd like to do Seva, I'd like to work with your mom and I'd like to take care of your mom. So I thought it was a good idea. So my wife, she went out there and she lived there with my mom, and that went out for for 1 or 2 years. That worked out well, and then um, because I wasn't there, I was living in India at that time, and she was there. Things sort of like fell apart. She got into some bad habits. Won't get into everything, but she just got into some bad habits, and
Bad habits like
um, just bad
mm,
habits.
mm.
And my mother had a problem with her. She tried to steal from my mother, and it just all fell apart. And I came back to the U.S. and then I tried again to reconcile, but we couldn't make it work. Like too much time had passed, and we were not. It's just
Yeah,
we
it was
weren't
too
gelling
much.
anymore. She could speak English by this time, but
Mm.
there was just no charisma or anything. And my family, like I feel like my cousins and some of my family had worked very hard to also throw seeds of suspicion in my mind, because she was a Punjabi girl from a Punjabi family, and my stepmother, I think, wanted more grasp of all the land.
Oh,
Uh,
mm.
Money. She comes from a poor family that has had like 1 or 2 acres of land, and we had 200 acres. There
Mm.
is a big, big difference in having that grasp of all that money. Some people are very greedy. I don't know that where her greed is now, but I do find that she is, the family is exceptionally greedy.
Mm.
And they whispered all that my wife is not doing the right thing. She must be seeing that guy. She must be seeing this guy. When somebody is 3,000 miles away, you can throw any suspicions. And
Yes, yes.
and I was stupid enough to listen to some of it. And I went there, and we couldn't make it work as a husband and wife. So I filed for divorce, and we got divorced after 2, 3 years. And
Mm.
in that time, I was working in the U.S. for all that time. And then after we got divorced, about 2 years after I got divorced, 3 years after I got divorced, I
You
met
didn't have
another.
the child that time, no?
No, I didn't have a
Mm.
child then.
Mm.
I met another girl, and I met her gaming. That time I had much more time to game.
Gaming, huh?
So I like gaming.
Mm.
It's a way. See, everybody has different ways of. Some people like to drink. Some people take drugs
Mm.
and
Which
smoke and
game are
all
you
that.
interested in that
I
you play?
play Dungeons and Dragons online. I've been playing it since its conception in 2005.
Hmm.
I was a tester for the game, and then I really came to love the game.
Hmm.
And I see, I like some people are very much into some things like counter espionage, PUBG, and that stuff where you're killing real people. I'm not really a fond of all that stuff. I like killing ogres and dragons and orcs and things that are fictitious, like have no relevance in. It's you're not killing a person, you're just killing some monster,
Hmm.
and that is relaxing for me. So I enjoy that. I still play that same game. I'm
Hmm.
still VIP for all these years,
Hmm.
and I enjoy that game. So I met my wife in that, and
Hmm.
she picked me up in a pug pickup group. So just a bunch of people that we meet together, and she came out from Oklahoma, and came to visit me a couple of times in California, and then she moved out there, and we lived together for about a year, and then we got married,
Hmm.
and then we came to India, and that was a little bit back and forth for a while.
Hmm.
And she came here. Then her grandparents, I think, passed away, so she went back to U.S. Then came back to India. It was back and forth 1 or 2 times, and then when we decided that we were going to get divorced and that like it wasn't going to get very far, like we just could not reconcile. She went back to the U.S. and found she was pregnant, and then she came back here, and
She.
our daughter was born.
Hmm.
And my daughter is 13 now, Haley. She lives in Michigan with my ex-wife,
Hmm.
and I sent her with my wife because she's autistic, and so the care for autistic children is much greater in U.S. than it is in India.
Hmm.
So I thought, as a father, that this was the right thing, and we were already not seeing eye to eye. We Again, I've married her for 12 years, and I'm not an easy. It's not like I just quit after a couple of years. I want to go the distance before I say it quits. But anyways, we ended up getting divorced, and she went to live back in the U.S., and my daughter went with her, and they're doing pretty well. They're living a good life there.
So how do you guys meet then?
How did she and I meet?
Your daughter, how do you meet your dear
I meet
daughter?
her on FaceTime.
Mm.
FaceTime is much easier. Like going to the US is very expensive these days. FaceTime is free, and actually when you go, like people always ask me, why don't you go and visit your friends, or you must want to visit your friends. Nobody has the time there. This is the real truth. There's no one who has time. I live in Chandigarh. I have lots of friends in Chandigarh, and I never have the time to meet them or visit them. Very rarely. It's hard. And I'm here in Chandigarh.
Hmm.
It's just there's no time.
Hmm.
It's very time to have, even with 2 days off. How much of that time can you go and really spend with them when my wife is at home and she wants me to spend time with her? I have to make a choice. My wife is going to win out 10 times out of 10. It's not even a choice. There, nobody else is going to beat her thing. Like after today's podcast, I'll be going to take her out, and I have to spoil her somewhere too.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
So how did you guys meet your current partner?
So I met my wife. I met my wife. I was looking for someone to go to events with. My American wife, Christine, she liked the grunge look, more like a punk rock kind of a look. That is great on a farm. It's not great when you have to go and meet people at business meetings and stuff. So actually, I met Preeti because I was just looking on a friendship, not Tinder, just a regular friendship, some friend site. And I was just looking for someone that I could go as a friend and go and meet, go to some events and whatnot and all that.
Hmm.
And she answered, and she was telling me that she's not really much with married guys. She didn't like that, and she said that she'd been in a relationship before, and she wasn't very happy about it, and she had a lot of trust issues. And all the girlfriends, all the affairs, anything that has happened to me in my life from the day I was born to current time, and she sort of liked that I was so transparent with her. So she decided to give me a shot, and we went up to Duxhay and went to walked around and went to the graveyard. I'd had a cafe there once time, so people knew me really well. And she was impressed, I think, a little bit by that. And she decided, I liked her laugh, and she decided, okay, let's go out for a little bit. And we started going out. And eventually I moved in with her, and now we're married.
Hmm.
Like, been with her, in a relationship with her for the last 8 years.
Hmm.
So, but we've been married for 4 years.
Hmm.
So it's been a good life. I mean, we tried to split apart from each other, but it didn't work.
Hmm.
God was not willing to let the relationship
Hmm.
dissipate. So
Hmm.
we got married in a gurdwara in December of 2021,
Hmm.
and it's been a decent marriage.
Hmm. Hmm.
I love her a lot, and I really dote on her and spoil her tremendously. And she spoils me well too. She
Hmm.
does. Only thing that I don't let her do is buy me clothes.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's not that I don't want her to buy me things, but I don't know where to wear them. I just don't have time to wear. I wear chef clothes 5 days a week, so there's nowhere to wear all those other really nice doodads.
Hmm.
But yes, I'm very much in love with her.
Hmm. Okay, that's very beautiful. So let's talk about your cafe now. You decided to come to India and started your own cafe here. So what idea was there in your head that would
I did not have an idea to start a cafe.
Hmm.
I came here in 2007 when Dad died,
Hmm.
and I like
So how did you get the custody also of a property? Because it must have been a
it's ancestral property,
hmm.
and the land was already in my name.
Okay.
My
Your
grandfather
dad,
my
your grand.
grandfather had put it in my name, and
That's such a thoughtful thing that he did.
my grandfather had put it in my name and my grandfather's name in equal share,
Okay.
or my father's name and my name in equal share, and um, I don't know. I like I'm pretty sure that I got cheated out of a good portion of it when,
Still. Hmm.
but I, it's okay. I don't really get into it with anyone.
The
Uh,
father's part, the wife and your
see,
stepsister has.
my dad, my dad put land in my name in his will. Um, just giving you the context. But in my grandfather's will, he had put the land in undemarked, like it was a 50-acre plot. So 50 acres was divided between father and son in equal share, but it was not like this is my Dave's and this is Udar's. Everything was just shared. When dad died, he said that these 25 or 28 plots are Dave's. But actually, he could not legally do that because it was not his 100%. You can only do that if you bought the property and it is your property.
Hmm.
This is ancestral property.
Hmm.
It was created by my grandfather.
Hmm.
And since it was already in both of our names,
Hmm.
you cannot gift it if it is not yours
Hmm.
100%.
Hmm.
So actually, I would have had a bigger share,
Hmm.
but like I listened to my cousins and other people and relatives, and they said, yes, you should sign it. You won't get your property if you don't sign these documents. So I did, and I effectively signed half my property away to my stepmother.
Hmm.
And like my wife, she would like me to fight for it and all this stuff, but I don't find it worth. I just don't find it worth. I have built a good life for myself, and I don't need all of that. I'm happy with what I have, and I don't
So
see
sometimes
where.
it's very difficult with the ancestral property, no? So how do you make peace with it? Because it's very
I'm just
important.
I just like I got actually access of it where it's now transferred 100% into my name, at least my share of it, and making peace. There's like how much do you want? Like every some people are very greedy for money. If you look at it's a weird context, but
Hmm.
Scrooge McDuck. I don't know if you watched DuckTales and Scrooge McDuck and Disney and all that stuff. So Scrooge McDuck is a duck that used to just count his gold all day. And more, it was just counting, 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 not spending, just counting, counting, counting.
Hmm.
So that's also with land and property and money.
Hmm.
You can keep acquiring. What do you do with it after a certain amount of time?
Hmm.
It's just getting more and more and more. But how is it making you more happy? How
Hmm.
are you getting more joy out of it?
Hmm.
How many cars can you drive at one time?
Hmm.
You can buy all the latest cars, but you can only drive one car at a time.
Hmm.
You can buy all the latest TVs. You can have 500 TVs, but
Hmm.
your mind cannot process all of them going at once.
Hmm.
You know, there's a limit
Hmm.
as to how much greed you need to have.
Hmm.
I don't feel that greedy and that I really need to have all of that. I'm
Hmm.
happy with where I am. I'm happy with what I have.
Hmm.
I am doing good in my business. My business makes decent amount of money, and I'm not at all at lack for anything in my life.
Hmm.
So what is there lusting after more?
Hmm.
If you're not satisfied, you're never going to be satisfied. I'm
Hmm.
satisfied.
Hmm.
People see me in I have a little cafe. People think that, if you go to Chandigarh, you'll make more
Hmm.
money.
Hmm.
It's always about money. I'm happy in who I am and where I am.
Hmm.
Yes, I maybe they're right. Maybe going to Chandigarh will give me a bigger audience,
Hmm.
but then maybe it won't. I mean, it'll be more expenses, more work, more time, and time away from my wife.
Hmm.
And that'll lead to a divorce. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want my marriage to break down.
Hmm.
It's not worth it to me.
Hmm.
I Everybody wants to have my burger. Great, come to the cafe.
Hmm.
My burgers take about 10, 12 minutes to make. I don't take very long to make the food.
Hmm.
After dad died in 2007, I just farmed for about 2 years. And then my Chacha, same one that helped me out in Beverly Hills, he was now living in India, and he had some friends at Metro 35, and he was telling me that they need a restaurant consultant, and he talked me into consulting for them. They liked my food. I was a restaurant consultant for Metro 35 in 2009, 2010. I wrote their recipes and whatnot. In that time, I met these guys, Paul Singh and Harkirat Brar, who formed this company called H Degree Global, and that was one of their first gigs was as brand designers for Metro 35, and we became good friends, and eventually they became my brand designers, and they designed my brand. And they also did the brand design for Jagat Singh and Sons. I got to know Gurveen Oberoi and his father at that time. I also did work for them and helped them open their Chef Gateway store in 22 back in 2010. And I got to meet a lot of notable people that were here in Chandigarh. I met people like H. Kishi Singh, who used to write for Good Motoring section for the Tribune for 20 years. He became like a big brother. I met him because he complained about my food.
Complained?
Yes,
He didn't like it?
no. In 2009, when he came to the Metro 35, he was doing work at HDFC, and the power went out, so they went next door to the restaurant, and they called me up and they said that, sir, there's a guy here complaining, and I was in Empire Stores those days, and I said, okay, tell him a little bit, I'll come, and I came, and he's like, sir, I don't understand. Are you the owner? I said, I'm not the owner, but I'm the restaurant consultant. He said, okay, can you tell me how you can serve this much food for this much price? What is wrong with you? So that was the whole basis of the complaint was I gave
This
too.
was the food was
Food was this amount of food, but the price was like about that much
at that time.
at that time. So he was really upset that, like, how can you serve so much food for such a little price? Don't you lose money? So then we became good friends, and that relationship went all the way till he died, and he became a big brother to me, and I always feel so genuinely blessed that I had him in my life. He and his wife have been dear friends and his daughter have been dear friends all this time. His wife and I did cooking workshops and classes at his house, and he had me cook for people like the Maharaja of Jind and the Maharaja of Faridkot and all these people, because his father had worked with the Maharaja Patiala as advisor back in the 50s, so he was very well in tune with all these notables, and he was a prolific writer, and he just really genuine fellow. So anyways, after Metro 35, I went back to my farm. My daughter came and she was born here in Jagadhri. Then I was there on the farm for about 2 years. And then somebody came and asked me my friend Paul, who was part of H Degree, he said that there's a guy who's looking to open a restaurant, and they want to have a restaurant consultant, and that became for Aja. So Aja now they're in Sector 9 and in Bella Vista. So I was a restaurant consultant for Aja back in 2012 and 2013, and I wrote their recipes and trained their chefs and helped design their platform. And that really worked well, and that really pushed my, let's say, reputation up higher. So people got really enthused about that. And then again, I took a little bit break. Then people at Flamois Sector 7, they had a place up in Dharampur called the B&B Inn. So they asked me to come up there. So I went in 2015, I went to B&B Inn and worked with them for a little while. While I was there, some other guy came and said, I have a place in Dakshay, and I'd like you to open a restaurant there. So I went there, and he was a silent partner, and I did the work. And that gave me knowledge that I don't need anyone, actually. And in the meantime, my uncle Prem, he had a place up in Kasauli. So then I went to Kasauli, and we started looking into maybe getting booth up in Kasali and
Mm.
opening up a restaurant there. But because it's a cantonment, they don't allow you to do any changes to the existing building.
Mm.
So that nixed that idea. And in that time, my somebody I met in 2009, Jessica Shan, she
Uh-huh. Uh,
she
she was also our guest.
yeah, so
Just Shan.
yeah, so she she was working at the British School and she had her dance academy there. So she had me, she talked to the owners there and said that we need someone, you can run your restaurant here.
Mm.
So I came there in 2016 and then like within 2 months, I think I took over the canteen as well. So I started running the cafe at night and canteen in the morning. And that went for 3 years there.
Mm.
And then after that, like we had some disagreements, and I left there and came to TDI in 2019, and I've been there ever since.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where how the restaurant came to be.
Okay, so what's so special about your burger? Because your one burger costs 1,000 rupees, I think.
Ah, there's lots of burgers that are a
It
thousand
starts
and
with
one.
1,000.
No, no, actually the burgers start at 500. The
500.
veg burgers start at 600 because, believe it or not, paneer costs more money than chicken.
Chicken.
Chicken is cheaper than paneer.
Huh.
Paneer is expensive,
Huh.
and some people on Instagram and Reddit who have said that I can't believe your burgers are that much. I mean, they seem like they'd be just should be 50 rupees. That your cost should be 50
No, no.
rupees, and everything else you're making money off of them. But actually, my burgers cost me like a chicken burger, for example,
Mm.
cost me about 150 rupees to make,
Mm.
just to make it, and I sell it to you for 500. So I'm not making that much money.
Mm.
You think it's high, but it's really not because then I have to pay labor. And even if I am the labor, I still have to pay myself
Yes,
a
obviously,
wage.
obviously. Hmm.
And there's the ingredients, the electricity, the rent, and some profit for, again,
Mm. Mm.
because I work by myself,
Huh.
I
Huh. That's mm.
save on the labor in that point, so I
Mm.
get the money from the labor and as the owner,
Mm.
so I get sort of like a double salary. But
Mm.
but otherwise, if I had to hire people,
Mm.
then I'd still be paying labor cost.
Mm.
So either way, some cost is going to be there. But um, people like it because one, it is freshly made in front of you. There's
Mm.
no frozen anything except for fries. Nothing is frozen. Everything is made fresh in front of you. There's very few restaurants where the chef or anyone will make it right in front of you, absolutely fresh. You can see whether he washes your hands. You can see where it's coming from. There's a date on the packaging. When the packaging is over, I throw it away. If I pull the package out and I don't feel that it's up to snuff, or I feel that it's starting to turn, or it's not the quality I want, I throw it away. I'm not really interested in keeping that, even if it's expensive stuff. I'm not interested in jeopardizing the health of my customers just to make an extra buck,
Mm.
which people appreciate it. But other people, there's a lot of I see a lot of jealousy nowadays. I'm doing well. People want to think that it's so easy. Like, Yarto,
Mm.
this guy is making a burger. How hard is it to make a burger?
Mm.
And yet people go abroad. Um, They've had my burger. They've gone abroad. They've gone to Canada, US, everywhere. And I have found that when the first thing they do when they come back to India, I am the first place on their list. They have had these great burgers everywhere else. I
Mm.
mean, but they're like, no, man, you don't understand. Your burgers are like somewhere out of, we
Mm.
can't, no, we've never had anything like this
Mm.
before.
Mm.
People come there and almost every day somebody says, this is the best burger I've ever had. I didn't believe a burger could taste so good. I don't know what magic is there. I'm just like, I created something and whatever it is, it's working. People are enjoying it.
Mm.
So while they're enjoying it, then why not just keep it doing it?
Mm. So you don't have staff or labor,
I
other
don't.
labor, right? So how are you going to preserve the recipe that you have? Because it's very delicious and people would want to know that how do you cook it?
Well, see, all the recipes are preserved. All the recipes are written down. There's like every time somebody comes, I make everything the same way all the time.
Mm.
All the recipes, all the food is made exactly the same way every single time you come. Because I'm the only one making it also,
Hmm.
There's no like change in anything.
Hmm.
Like I use the same measuring spoons. I wrote the recipes. I know exactly how many teaspoons of everything goes in it. I use my
You make sure
teaspoons.
that you put the
I
proper
do
amount that is
everything
mentioned.
every single time.
Hmm.
Every time I make the recipe, it's the same amount of mircha, every different masala. It's the same amount every single time. So there's no variance. So if you came 5 years ago and
Hmm.
you came back today, the flavors are just the same that you had 5 years ago. So you're not feeling like it's not like some restaurants you go to. There are
Hmm.
quite a few that I've been to where one place you go, the flavors are wow. And the
Hmm.
next place you go, it's same company.
Hmm.
It's like,
It's
what the hell?
hmm.
Where did that come from? How come that's like that?
Hmm.
It's just because they don't quantify their recipes. They don't write them down. It's like chefs are like, oh, a pinch of this, a pinch of that. It doesn't help.
Hmm.
The way, if you look at restaurants like, why restaurants like Domino's and KFC and McDonald's, why are they successful?
Hmm.
They have very standardized recipes and procedures. Their regular operating procedures are absolutely standardized. They do everything the same way. It comes from the same kitchen. It's this much masala. It's this much sauce. Everything is absolutely uh, like quantified in such a
Hmm.
way that you can't go wrong. So that is why they stay successful, is because they keep consistency. So consistency is actually your biggest thing. If you're very consistent in your product, then people of course want to come there and enjoy it. But if you're going to be inconsistent in your product, then today you have guests, tomorrow you might not.
Hmm. So, in your burgers, in the dishes that you make, do you have Indianness or Indianness and American
No,
both flavors in
I
it?
don't do desi.
You don't do desi,
I
so
am not. If you're looking for a desi burger, I'm not the one. I don't
hmm.
do potato patties. I make a quinoa black bean patty. I have a mango and paneer patty.
Hmm.
Mango and paneer
I've
burger.
seen the reel.
I've done a. I have a Texas Ranch barbecue where I have onion rings on top of a paneer with my pickle on the bottom and my ranch on top. I do a Philadelphia paneer sandwich. I do a buffalo burger. I do a chicken bacon burger. I do a mutton bacon burger. You can have bacon or not bacon if you don't want bacon. Bacon's not added into the burger, it's just added on top. So if somebody doesn't want it, they don't have to have it. Some people enjoy bacon, some people don't. I
Hmm.
don't push it down. It doesn't change the price. If you're having bacon, you get two slices. If you're not having bacon, well, you don't get no any slices.
And the sauces are made it by you only?
Everything is made by me.
Wow.
I make my own desserts. I make my own
Hmm.
cheesecakes. I make tiramisu at times. I have a maple bacon ice cream sundae. I have a
Hmm.
banana foster sundae, and then on top of that, I make my own pickle. I make my own ranch dressing. I
Hmm.
make my own barbecue sauce. Um,
Hmm.
it's just I think that when you're making your own sauces, gives a certain really added depth to the food
Hmm.
rather than being like one of the biggest problems I've see. I never carry ketchup. Sorry, ketchup is never found in my cafe.
Hmm.
But like most restaurants you go to, you'll have a great burger and they'll put, no offense to Viva or Cremica, but they'll put a Viva sauce on it,
Hmm.
and it spoils that whole entire what they were trying to achieve because they've put. I understand why they do it. They're doing it because it's consistent. Again, it's back to consistency, but that also, like, different restaurants, they may have different foods, but they use the same sauce. And so the burgers all taste the same.
Hmm.
Instead of being individual, they just have all become one.
Hmm.
And that individuality is one thing that people like because, like, if you want it more spicy, I'm happy to make more spice. I can give it as spicy as you want. I had some boys, I remember about 3, 4 years ago, I had some boys, I make my own buffalo sauce. For buffalo sauce is not made out of buffalo, it's made out of chilies. It's named because of Buffalo, New York. It's if you buffalo wings,
Hmm.
if you look at buffalo wings anywhere that has spicy hot wings called buffalo wings,
Hmm.
it's a recipe from New York in 1930s, I think.
Hmm.
But anyways, I had some boys come once and they were telling me that, sir, you're an American. I'm sorry, आपका अंग्रेज है. अंग्रेज के they don't know anything about
पहला
spice.
सेंटेंस इनका हिंदी में निकला
हाँ नहीं वो
है।
ठीक है पर अंग्रेज का कोई नहीं पता लग गया
हाँ।
कि जो मिर्ची मिर्ची तो कुछ नहीं पता लगा.
अच्छा। ओ क्लाइंट
अमेरिकन्स।
क्लाइंट आपको बोलता
हाँ
है?
हाँ,
हाँ, हाँ।
कोई 3-4 पंजाबी लोग से आया था।
हाँ।
कहते आपका अंग्रेज है, आपका कुछ नहीं पता लग गया कि ग कितना गर्म हो गया। तो मैं
हाँ।
कहा ठीक है, आपको चैलेंज करते हैं? हाँ जी, हाँ जी। You can't make it hot enough for you. I still remember they had one piece of wing, just one piece of wing
हाँ।
and 15 cold coffees.
हाँ, हाँ।
इतना गर्म हो गया, they were like sweating.
अच्छा इतना मज़ा आपने ज़बरदस्ती डाल दिया था क्या? हाँ,
Ah,
ज़बरदस्त
of course, आपके challenge करते हैं, you better watch out what happens. Chef का challenge करते हैं, you should watch out what happens when you challenge chef. Chef has also very evil intentions at times.
फिर
I
what
can,
happened after that?
after that, they had 15 cold coffees, and now they still come to my cafe once in a while. Okay, jaigi. But whenever I mention, they're like, no, no, chef, it's okay. We're okay. We can just have normal food. Thank
हाँ,
you.
हाँ।
But I have boys that like I do things like on my menu. I like to honor hometown heroes. So on my menu, there's lots of dishes
हाँ,
that have been named after real people.
हाँ,
For example,
हाँ।
Just K. Sean. You were just saying you just
Yes,
had her
yes.
on your show.
Yes, we had.
Well, I just had her podcast, or not podcast, her reel is coming up today, actually. I'm
Uh-huh.
uploading it today only. So back in 2016, Just was a dancer and had
Yeah.
her her dance academy there at the British School. And when I used to come there all the time, and I would be like trying some new concoction, I would give it to Jess, and she would tell me it's good or it's bad. And friend and just nazdeek ho gaya. So
Mm.
it's very easy to just go and say hi, Jess, and here have some soup, or
Mm.
here have a drink, or have a new burger that I made, or something like that. So one day she came to the cafe one night, and she said, "Chef, I'm really hungry. Can you make me something?" So I was in a really weird mood. So I made these French fries with Nutella on top and
You
caramel and powdered sugar.
sh
And she said, "What
what?
is this?" And I said, "Yeah, fries." She's like, "I can't eat these. I'll get fat." I'm like, "You're a dancer. You can just dance it off." But she never ate them in those days. But I named it after her. I called the dish the Lindy Hop, which is a swing dance from the 20s, and I put it on the menu after her. And many people really like these Nutella fries,
अरे वाह!
inspired by Just K. Sean.
अरे वाह! What a sweet
Now,
story, हाँ।
now, leading into 2025, it's been on my menu for a long time, and now I'm doing reels, and I have a guy that I pay to do my reels. So am calling all these people that are on my menu and asking them to come and do a video, a reel of them telling how the dish was inspired by them. So
हुँ,
Just came,
हुँ,
and she did a reel where she explains about me and how we
हुँ,
became friends.
हुँ।
And she's eating the Nutella fries for the first time in her life, which
And
she
she
really
liked
liked,
it,
and
uh-huh.
she liked them. She's in a different place now. She's quite a
Not very conscious about
personality,
हुँ,
but it was really fun to have her on, and just like the podcast, it's like a show there also. So it was having her there, and um, having this being on this video. I'll show it to you after this
हुँ,
cast,
हुँ,
and it was just something. Like there's this guy, Karan Sher Dillon.
हुँ।
So he's, like I said, he's Hardy
हाँ जी,
Sandhu's cousin.
हाँ, हाँ।
So Karan and used to come to the cafe long ago, and used to say that, Dave,
हुँ,
he would send me videos and say, I'd like this. I'm not getting this in India. Can you make this?
हुँ,
Can you make that? So I would make, like, most of those days I wasn't that busy. So I'd be like, sure.
हुँ,
And I would make all sorts. One of the things that I made for him was a smash burger.
हुँ,
So I tried the smash burger, and
हुँ,
I wasn't really big into smash burgers, but I said, okay, let me try it.
हुँ।
Wow, it was really good. You, I don't eat much. I don't eat much of my own cooking.
हाँ, that's
That's because I cook it all the time, and it's like I do taste everything because I don't want to serve anybody anything bad, but at the same time, I don't do a lot of actually my own food eating. But so I tried it, and I was like, wow, this is actually really good.
हुँ,
So then I called him up and I said that, this was really good. I'm going to stick it on the menu, and why don't you tell me what I should call it? So he thought, it's a masterpiece. I think a masterpiece is good. And then he thought, no, no, no. Can I call it Smasherpiece? I
smashed?
Smash.
Smash.
Masterpiece.
Hmm.
So I said, okay. And then he said, can I call it Katie's masterpiece? And I said, it's your dish. I'm just putting it on there. You can call it whatever you want. So it became Karan Sher Dillon's masterpiece.
Wow.
So I did a video with him that's now gone really viral, and people are like crazy about that video. And there's
You also met Hardy Sandhu also, no? So he
yeah, I've
also
met
came to
Hardy.
your cafe.
Yeah, I've met Hardy Sandhu, and he's quite a nice guy. He's a real gem of a person, really genuine person. I really enjoy his music also. Um, I don't listen to a lot of Punjabi music, but like I have met people like Diljit Dosanjh when in a Crossblade event a couple of years ago at Chimney Heights, and Hardy I've met, and I've met AP Dillon once, so I like their musics also. I play them once in a while. It's an American cafe, so you're going to hear more rock than you're going to hear Punjabi music, but I play it at times. I get those quirky moods, and we want to have something different. And so there's a lot of, like, on my menu, there's a lot of recipes that are named after people, just normal people from Chandigarh who somewhere, I don't know, for whatever reason, I decided to make a recipe and tag them as they're my inspiration. Like I have a nightmare hot sauce, which I named the Three Musketeers after three boys who came to my cafe. And every time they would come to my cafe, Chef, the sauce is not hot enough. Chef, it's good, but it's not hot enough. Chef, we're getting there, but it's not hot enough. Finally, one day, okay, after when their eyes are puffy and red and they're sweating, oh yeah, chef, this is the spot. And it's a nightmare sauce, and it is really hot, and they love it. They just love that amount of heat. And so I said, okay, man, I'm going to put it on the menu, and I'm going to tag you boys as inspiration behind it. So like people who have wings, they can have regular buffalo wings, which are I named after my friend Taran Singh of he has a restaurant in Sector 8 Chandigarh, and I named it Taran's OG wings, and that's just the regular buffalo sauce. And then I have the nightmare stuff, which is named after these boys because it's next level heat. And then I'm planning to make another one that's even hotter than that. I just imported a bunch of chilies from the US, so I'm going to be putting those into a new sauce, and we'll see how hot we can go. Yeah, it's fun, I do tell people that when they're taking the very, really hot stuff to be careful. It's really, really hot. I don't want anybody to get hurt. I don't want people to get sick. People used to tell me all the time there. I remember when I was in the British school and I was working one night, one afternoon, some girl came in with her husband, and she said, no, I want that. You please make it really, really spicy. I want that spicy sauce. And I said, I'm not going to put it on. I said, here's a sauce. You can put it on as you like. So her husband was like telling her that, honey, you shouldn't do this. No. It was on pasta those days. No, I want to do it. And she put like 3/4 of the bottle onto her pasta. And she almost had a heart attack when she had it. And she was in such a bad way. Oh, it's so spicy. Oh, I can't do it. And then she was upset. How come you didn't tell me it was that spicy? I said, I did, ma'am, but you don't want to listen. You can't. Sometimes you just can't educate people. They have to discover it for themselves. I mean, as much as you want to try to tell people that, please don't. Please, like, people come and they order a ton of food at my cafe. I have to tell people at times that, I'll tell you what, can you just like order this amount? If you're still hungry afterwards, I'll make everything else for you. It's not because I'm trying to lose money, but I get tired of packing it all up when they realize that it is a huge portion and not a little itty bitty burger. Like, all my portions are decent size. Like, they don't come with fries. Like, burgers don't come with fries. You want fries, they're separate. Burgers are separate. But the burgers are sufficient that you don't need anything else really with it, unless you have huge appetite. There are people that I have people that come with crazy appetites. So I know all those people too.
Mm.
I have people that come there on a regular basis and want me to make something new for them every single time they come.
Mm.
So sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So my standing talk with them is that if you have it on the menu, you get the menu price. And if you have it off the menu, you get my price.
Mm.
Because you're having something, I have to make something, create something new every single time. So I get tired of creating sometimes. And so if you're going to make me do the extra work for you,
Yeah,
then
charge more.
then you should pay the chef's price. So one of my friends came and he one day he came and said that, chef, I said, how much money? I want something off the menu. Okay, how much money do you have? 4,000. So I made him a 4,000 rupee burger.
Oh my
And
God.
so he was like going, "What the hell?" And I said, "Thank you. That was very nice of you." Thinking and put it in my pocket. And he's like going, "What?" I was just saying that I had
Did you take
4,000.
it all? Like
Yeah, I did.
4,000.
I did. Yeah, he's a great guy, but sometimes
It's pain in
he's
the
a real
ass.
pain. I love him. I love him to death. I've named a new burger on the menu called the whatchamacallit after him because, well, honestly, every time he comes, I have no clue what he wants. So it's, whatchamacallit is like, what the hell is that burger?
Mm.
So it came out really well. And I'm selling a decent amount of his burgers too, which are named after him. But he asked me for a lot of stuff that I have no clue what to make.
Mm.
So I'm just like, okay.
Mm.
Like, and the crazy thing is, after he ate that huge burger, he had two chicken burgers beyond that. I was like,
Oh God, huh?
I'm just like going, his father calls up and has called one day and said, have you seen my son? Uncle, I think he's gone to the gym. I don't tell him that now the gym is my cafe. He comes to work on his abs, but not in a good way.
Okay. So now that you have started to get popular, so the amount of customers, the client that they come to you, they have started to raise as well, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
So how do you manage? Because you are the only one in the cafe.
Some days it's crazy, but I always try to keep well stocked. I always like, other than bread I have to order in advance, but everything else, the meats and all that, I go to Chandigarh. And if I run out, then like I buy my mutton and my chicken keemas from King Broiler
Mm.
in 35. So if I can't go to Chandigarh for whatever reason, then I just call them on the phone, place my order, pay for it online, and have like something like Porter. Used to be Swiggy Genie, now it's Porter.
Mm.
Delivery service, just pick it up the stuff and bring it. I
Mm.
always tip those guys extra because not everybody likes to handle meat. So I appreciate the fact that they're picking it up
So
for
do you
me.
get cranky sometimes?
I get
Because there is so much pressure. It does, this profession has so much pressure on you
see
sometimes.
uh
High demanding.
I don't get cranky, but these people get cranky. There's a lot of people who say, "Oh no, it's meat. I can't touch that. I don't won't do it."
Mm.
So I get that a lot. I get a lot of no's from people that are, but the people that do come and do pick it up, like
Mm.
I have an account with the company and I already keep money on the account, so I don't have to pay any fees for it to come. And the people that do come who do make that effort, the drivers, whatever, I always make sure I give them $100 tip or $150 tip. It's more value than even the trip,
Mm.
just because I appreciate the fact that they made the effort to come. Not
Mm.
everybody wants to make the effort, but if you're paying them extra, then all of a sudden, they're doing it for the money. That's why they're doing this transportation.
Mm.
They're doing it as a job.
Mm.
So people can overlook a lot of things. But like I've had women drivers come and they're very diligent. Wow, what is this for? Oh, this is a tip. What? You're giving me a tip? Nobody gives a tip. But yes, I think that, to me, that $100
Mm.
isn't anything that much anymore. At one time, I remember when I was that lower part, when thinking about $100, wow, that's so
Mm.
much money.
Mm.
But now, like as you make more money, you also spend more. You don't feel so needy all the time.
Mm.
You know, everything works, goes around, comes around, goes around. Um, I always say a prayer to God every day I come in the cafe. My wife is she says prayers every day. She likes to listen to Hanuman Chalisa every day, so I listen to Hanuman Chalisa every day.
Mm.
She looked into astrology for my health and wanted to see that I'm having good signs coming. Yeah, she's very caring and loving and wants to see that I'm going to be prosperous and have a good life. She
Mm.
doesn't come to the cafe, but that doesn't mean she doesn't love me. I know she loves me very much.
ठीक है. So now that we have talked so much about his journey, and now थोड़ा सा fun round करते हैं. We'll do a translation round because पूरे episode में हिंदी में I think एक ही sentence इनके
So
जुबान
now
से
you want
निकला
to
है.
see like, hey, Angrezi ke, can he
अंग्रेजी के
speak?
कैसे बात करते
हाँ,
हैं.
ठीक है.
ठीक है. ठीक है. आप translate करना. I'll just say the sentence in English, okay?
कोई बात नहीं.
Life is too short. Eat more burgers.
Eat more burgers? क्यों? Life is too short, but कैसे भी और burger क्यों खाया था?
आपको ये translate करना. You have to translate.
Oh, life is
And
too short. Oh, that I'm not good. I actually, uh, अगर मैं नहीं सोचता,
हाँ,
if I don't think about it,
हाँ,
Hindi, Punjabi could ठीक चलती है. And sometimes it's good ऐसे भी पंजाबी का समझ आती है और हिंदी का समझ आती है.
हाँ,
It's sometimes nice कि ऐसे भी सारे लोग को नहीं पता लग गया that you can understand.
हाँ,
Because ये लोग से बेटी है, ये कौन सी आदमी है, ये इतना पैसा का है, ये कौन सी बर्गर है.
हाँ,
And then they're surprised that, huh?
हाँ,
आपको समझ गया?
हाँ,
And girls especially, they talk all sorts of interesting, funny things.
क्या
And
क्या
then all of a
हाँ, we
sudden,
want to know the customer stories.
I don't tell this, but girls also talk about boys and things. And like, अगर तो, you know, if they don't think that you don't know,
हाँ,
then they'll talk
uh,
all the good things.
हाँ,
And if they think that you know, they're like, "Shh, shh, really quiet से बात कर ले."
हाँ, so आपने कभी सुनी बातें उनकी
Of
लड़कियों की क्या
course.
कौन सी बातें होती है रेस्टोरेंट में?
Mostly they just talk about थोड़ा सा boys है और थोड़ा सा movie star के जो कौन सी के hunk है, कौन सी भी film को देख दिया.
हाँ,
Um, most of the girls that come, they just like काफी लोग लड़की से आया था. They want to know how I make my food, the way I make it,
हाँ,
and कैसे का how can make it for their boyfriends. Can they come and learn? I said, please, Ajo.
हम्म.
I tell them all Ajo, and nobody ever shows.
No, they don't.
But like these days now, I'm selling some cupcakes by a girl.
हम्म,
Her uski baye ke aaya tha ek din about 3 weeks ago. Her brother came and said that Dave, he's a regular
हम्म,
customer.
हम्म,
So Dave made a pancake. She's making some really wonderful cupcakes, and would you try one? So I said, Tiga, lejo, ajo. So he gave me a cupcake. Wow,
हम्म,
seventh heaven.
हम्म,
I was in such love. So I said that please tell her to come. Next day she came. She says, I brought samples for you. I said, I don't do samples. I said that I can buy them from you.
हम्म,
So she says, no, 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 they're samples. So we had a fight about that. I
हम्म,
had a fight with her, a real fight about it.
हम्म,
And I said, if you don't accept the money from me, then I will not accept the cupcakes from you.
हम्म,
So she got forced to sell them to me.
हम्म,
And so for 2 weeks, I just gave them away.
हम्म.
Sorry, Lusa, I thought, here, have a free cupcake. And this is her card, and this is, and now,
She's
like,
doing well.
she's doing well. She's like telling me it's all because of you. And I said, it's not because of me. I just gave a little bit of a push. It's because of you. If your product had been garbage, I would not have put it on my shelf. I've only put it on my menu because your product is very good. And like most of my food is like, even my cheesecake is 500 rupees,
हम्म,
but your cupcakes are just 150. So some people, it's like a cheapy kind of a dessert.
हम्म,
But when you bite into the flavor, it's not cheapy at all. It's very rich and tasty, and
हम्म,
she makes fresh every other day for me.
हम्म,
So sometimes I give them away. I still give them away at times. Somebody
हम्म.
comes, I really like their smile, or they're having a good day, or they're having a birthday. There's
Like small
people,
gestures.
people. This is another thing that I'll tell you. People enjoy about my cafe. I don't give it to I don't give stuff to everyone, but yes, a lot of people come and it can be your energy. It can be you came from somewhere far away and I just like or it was your birthday or something, or your father was having a birthday. It just happens sometimes I'm in that quirky mood and, giving a jar of pickle or giving a cupcake or even giving a cheesecake or something. It I don't feel like it's just something I am enjoying to give.
Hmm.
And it makes me feel happy that I can bring a special smile to your face. And for those people, they really appreciate it in a different way that, wow, I came and, I was paying for the food anyways. And
Hmm.
he just gave me something.
Hmm.
Like, who does that?
Hmm.
So it makes it much more real. Again, you ask why people like to come. They like to come because it's a unique experience. People come for just as much for the experience
Hmm.
as they come for the food. Um, I realize like I'll never please everyone. These days it's like people come. I read a lot of comments that people have felt that I've started to become rude, but I tell those people that think that I'm being rude. People come and ask me 20, 30, 50 questions about my whole entire life and want to know everything about me. And I'm sorry, I don't always want to share my whole entire life story with
Next time,
every single person.
next time you have to tell them that you can watch this podcast because I think you have shared so much about your life here.
Yeah, that's a different thing.
Okay, okay. This continues.
But really, like I wrote on my menus, on my menu, I have a story of Dave. And it's
It depends on the mood.
no, it's
Yeah.
on the menu, it's always there. It's on the menu. Story of Dave.
aha,
So
अच्छा,
that
wow.
छोटा है just छोटा है जो Dave का story है,
हाँ.
ये uncle का restaurant है, how he became and where he arrived to and
You have
how,
it all written there.
yeah, it's all written. It's on the menu only.
Wow. Hmm.
Just so that, I tell people, आपके पहले का पढ़ो, then you can ask me. So it answers at least half the questions are right there only.
Hmm.
Because yes, at sometimes it's an invasion of privacy. Sometimes when people come, also people come at um, like I close at 11 p.m., but my last order is at 10:45.
Hmm.
I keep it at 10:45 because if people order by 10:45, then by 11:15 I'm out. But if people start coming at 11 and then want
Hmm.
to have an order, then I'm not out till quarter to 12. What people don't understand is I also have a private life. I
Hmm.
also have a life. My wife is at
Hmm.
home.
Hmm.
She would like to see her husband.
Hmm.
It's not fair to her, and it's not fair to me to have to make me work more hours when I've already been there for 12 hours.
Hmm.
People say, "How's it 12? You only start at 2." Yes, 2 to 11. That's a 9-hour shift right there.
Hmm.
And then on top of that, there's time to prep. You have to drive to Chandigarh, buy the supplies, resupply everything. My wife calls my car the warehouse because if you look in my car, there's bags and bags of napkins and to-go boxes and all excessive restaurant supplies are sitting in the car only. Um, we have to have all this stuff at all the times.
Hmm.
And I just try to get people to be a little bit more respectful. And also,
Hmm.
yes, at if people are thinking at 10:30, some people come in like after a really busy night at 10 o'clock at night, Dave, you look so tired. Gee, I don't know why. Why would I look tired after doing all that work all day? I should be dancing a jig. I should be doing the bhangra or something. I don't understand sometimes people's thought processes that like
It irritates
it
you.
it can, if I try to ask them that what happens if somebody comes to your place when you're about to close? Oh, I'm a student. Okay. So I had these lawyers come one time
Huh.
and they came right at 11 o'clock. And I said, I'm closed. They said, no, we really want, we came from so far. I was asking what they do. And they said, we're lawyers. I said, okay. So if I came to your office and you closed, what are my charges? Oh, we charge double. I said, okay, good. Restaurant's open. Sarika double price. Oh, Dave, I think tomorrow's a good day to come.
Hmm.
I'm like, what happened? You were so hot for the food. The minute I told you that the price would be double, just like you charge double,
Hmm.
I'll charge you double. Now all of a sudden,
Hmm.
we can just come when it's
Hmm.
regular priced.
Hmm.
See, I don't want to be rude to people, but at the same time, they have to also, people should understand, like, as far as I know, I'm the only restaurant that will open before their hours because sometimes people come at 12:31 and I'm sitting there. If I'm caught up on my prep, then I'll cook their food. My food is always ready to go. I am not, oh, somebody was asking me, they called me up, they said, so if we come at 2, will the food be ready? I said, if you come now, the food is ready. Really? We can come now? I said, no, I'm still prepping other stuff, but if when you show up at 2 o'clock, everything is ready to go.
Hmm.
I'm not one of those restaurants where you have to sit there and, okay, I know you said you opened at 2, but at 3 o'clock, I went with my wife somewhere to have chole bhature, and we got there at 11:30, and they opened at 10, and we were the first order of chole bhature, so they had not even turned on the fat fryer until we walked in.
Hmm.
So how is that being? We had to wait 30 minutes for our food.
Hmm.
My wife was like ready to walk out, and I was like, "Cello, just relax, honey."
Hmm.
She gets more upset than I do. We go to a restaurant, she gets very upset. She's like, I can send my husband back there to cook if you guys can't make it faster. I'm sure that he can make it faster than you guys.
Hmm.
So she's very, very vocal about things.
Hmm.
She really wants me to be more like demanding at places. And I go to places for food and I'm like, I just want to relax, let it come when it comes, and just chill.
Hmm.
Please don't get too upset. My pronunciations
No,
are
no, you
fucked up.
can stick to a
But
language.
ऐसे भी छोटे बच्चे के कोई language सिखाने या सिखाती है, um, they learn on एक side of the brain का एक part के सारे language, अगर तो अंग्रेज हिंदी पंजाबी संस्कृत कोई भी languages, एक part of the brain के सारा languages के um,
Hmm.
uh, center on.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think it's the right side of the brain. But अगर आपको adult से learn करते उसके बाद है, the languages are on the left hand.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, like for me, Angrez is on the right side, but
Hmm.
Hindi Punjabi are on the left side.
Hmm.
So, अगर तो मैं बात करते मैं नहीं सोचते, if I don't think,
Hmm.
मैं हिंदी पंजाबी ठीक से बात कर दिया. But the minute I start thinking that ये क्या translation है, ये सारे का गड़बड़, and everything is all like one uh, jumble.
हाँ,
So ये भी ऐसे हो सकता.
no worries, no worry, कोई बात नहीं. It's going to be a foodie rapid fire round. I'm going to ask some questions. You have to answer in a word, or if you want to explain, you can do that too,
Okay.
right? एक डिश जो हर रोज खाना चाहो.
दाल.
दाल. You don't eat the one you made in your
नहीं
restaurant, right?
मैं रेस्टोरेंट के मैं सॉसेस के ट्राई करते हर रोज़
Hmm.
डेली का मैं
Hmm.
सारा सॉस के ट्राई करते अगर
Hmm.
तो कोई ख़राब हो गया कोई
Hmm.
ठीक है
Hmm.
मैं सारी सब कुछ के ट्राई करते हैं
Hmm.
मैं मीट्स के ट्राई करते हैं
Hmm.
मैं देखते कि जो मीट्स के ख़राब है कि
Hmm.
फ्रेश है
Hmm.
मैं जनरली के हर रोज़ डेली के फ्रेश का मंगवाया था बट समटाइम्स के थोड़ा सा वैसे भी 2-3 दिन के थोड़ा सा स्मेल आता है अगर तो कोई स्मेल आया था अगर मैं सोचूंगी तो कोई अच्छा नहीं है मैं तो सारा पैक किया
अभी अब ज्यादा अच्छा बोल दिया आपने तो. अभी
हाँ
इतनी है ना
मैं तो
वो.
नहीं समझ बिकॉज
हाँ.
मैं तो नहीं सोचते
हाँ.
अगर तो
हाँ.
मैं सोचते फिर तो
हाँ.
प्रॉब्लम आ जाएगी
हाँ, अभी इतना अच्छे से आपने फ्लुएंटली बोल दिया. ठीक है. वियर्डेस्ट फूड रिक्वेस्ट फ्रॉम अ कस्टमर. वो तो
weirdest
शायद से
food
थोड़ा बताया भी आपने वैसे. उससे
weirdest
अला.
food request I don't know I don't say weirdest food
द
request
4,000
नहीं
रुपीज
नहीं
वाली
और ये
स्टोरी.
भी ये एक I have ये 2 बच्चे के हैदराबाद से अभी IT स्पेशलिस्ट है.
हाँ, हाँ.
They used to live in चंडीगढ़ अभी तो हैदराबाद से रहते हैं now.
हम्म.
And एक बंदे उसकी बहुत पसंद हो गया जो अमेरिका खनोआ ब्लैक बीन बर्गर बट
हम्म.
पनीर चीज़ के बहुत पसंद हो गया।
हुँ,
सो ही लाइक्स वैसे quinoa ब्लैक बीन बर्गर,
हुँ,
चीज़ स्टफ़ है
हुँ,
और फिर मेरी रैंच ड्रेसिंग इसके ऊपर हो गया,
हुँ,
फिर चीज़ सॉस के ऊपर हो गया। आई हैव टू
हुँ,
पुट इट इन अ बोल।
हुँ,
फिर रैंच सॉस फिर ऊपर आ जाएगी।
हुँ,
एंड उसकी दोस्त है, ही लाइक्स मटन, same style,
हुँ,
but वैसे he had mutton with crab stuff under
हुँ,
और gold foil के उसके ऊपर हो गया।
हुँ,
ये बड़ी बड़ी कॉस्टली बर्गर है।
हुँ,
मैं तो एक आदमी एक दोस्त एकम बेदी है।
हुँ,
तो एकम he is the son and owner of Benson Refrigeration, बहुत
हुँ,
बड़ी refrigeration company
हुँ,
है।
हुँ,
Anyways, Ekam, he looks all the time in some magazine or he sends me Instagram, Yarto, Dave, sir, I saw this salad. Can you make this salad? So I
हुँ,
said, ye salad nahi hai, this is all meat.
हुँ,
He says, I like this all meat. Can you make it for me? So Mada, I make weird things for him. Uh, I have a monster burger challenge.
हुँ,
Meri Pasco hatch, like I was seeing somewhere, I even saw in Pune, they're talking about 2 kilo burger ka challenge hai, ye hai, wo hai.
हुँ।
I have a 2.5 kilo burger.
ओह गॉड! अच्छा।
So back in 2016, there was this concert called Homebound behind the Toy Hotel in 2016,
हुँ,
and the people that were putting it on, ye log Chetan Mongia and a couple of other guys, they asked me if I can make some special burger,
हुँ,
and they can give free passes, and if the person challenged the burger. So I made a 2.25 kilo burger. Itna bada ke burger ho gaya. And these guys,
हू ईट्स इट? मतलब हाउ
दो
मेनी
दो
पीपल?
लोग दो लोग से ऑलरेडी के जीत गया। मैं अभी दस रहा, just
हाँ।
ठहर जाओ, मैं दस रहा। So it just so happens कि demonetization आया था
हाँ,
उस टाइम के जो concert के शुरू करते,
हाँ,
so it got postponed.
हुँ,
But I still wanted to have the challenge. So मैं challenge के डालते हैं, एक आदमी गगनदीप सिंह के biker,
हुँ,
ये आया था क्या दे, I want a challenge for it. He came with his friend Jojo.
हुँ,
Jojo unfortunately passed last year, but ये बहुत अच्छा biker, very dear friend of mine.
हुँ।
Anyways, गगनदीप के जो try करते हैं, and I gave him 20 minutes to eat this burger, and he ate it in 12 minutes 18 seconds
ओह
by
माय
himself.
ओह डैम!
So he was like, "Yeah, man, jit gaya." So at that time, burger ke 1,000 rupees, and you would get 500 rupees cash.
हाँ, हाँ,
Okay, prize hai, plus burger for free. So he was the first winner. दो हफ्ते के बाद है, um, three boys came in,
हुँ,
एक Ruben, एक Rohan, and एक Devin. And Ruben was उसकी दोस्त है, and Rohan and Devin Markand were brothers.
हुँ,
So Ruben, they all said that we want to challenge this burger,
हुँ,
all on the same table, same time. So I'm like going, oh my God, that's a lot of meat. So I made for Ruben. Ruben ke 2/3 ke burger kaya tha. Fir I can't do it.
हुँ,
Then Rohan ये आधा का burger खाया था, ये उल्टी कर दिया।
हुँ। उल्टी कर दिया?
Yeah, कह दिया कि ये tomatoes अंदर है, मैं allergic है। मैं कह दिया आपका पहले ही क्यों नहीं दस रहा? अगर आपका पहले ही दस रहा, then I would never have put them. Then I had to go to Chandigarh and get the supplies, and Davin challenged for the burger,
हाँ,
and Davin ate the burger in 10 minutes 12 seconds,
हाँ।
and he is the champion. That's 2016.
हाँ, हाँ।
Till now, he is the burger champion. 10 minute 12 seconds is the record for 2.25 kilo burger.
हुँ,
And Uski Dosk told me that afterwards he was like sick for a week. He couldn't eat. He had, हाँ यार
ओह!
तो बहुत ज़्यादा का खाना खाया था. And at that time, you just got, like I said, 1,000 rupees plus 500 rupee ke jo cash prize.
Hmm.
But later on, ke main t-shirts ka banaya tha, so I brought to his house a t-shirt and he took it back.
Hmm.
And now he's happily married. He lives in San Francisco. His wife is expecting, and he's an engineer.
Hmm.
And he also, I still do challenges.
Hmm.
मैं live stream करते हैं, and when I just did one recently, and
Hmm.
when I live stream the burger challenges, he always asks me that, has anyone beat my record? I said, David, no one's ever beating your record.
Hmm.
So now the challenge is different now. I changed the challenge. I made the challenge two-person challenge.
Hmm.
So now I give you, like, say आपके दोनों के challenge kita. I give you the challenge. You have 12 minutes to eat the burger.
Hmm.
And you can split the burger however you wish. Like, you can take 2 pieces of bread and he can take everything else. But once the burger is split, you cannot share. So you have to know your partner ka kitna limitations hai, how much can you eat. Then when the 12-minute timer goes off, you both have to be completely finished. अगर तो एक person के जीत गया, दूसरा person का नहीं जीत गया, loss.
Hmm.
You both have to be done in order to
Win it.
win the thing. If you win, the burger is free. Otherwise, the burger is 2,000 rupees. So if you win, the burger is free. You get 2,000 cash. You get 2 T-shirts saying you're the champions, and you'll get some shrine on the wall that, like, we are the champions. No one has beaten it as a pair.
Hmm.
Duel, nobody ever. Some 500 ke burger challenges have. Not one person has, group of 2 people has ever eaten it together.
Hmm.
Only 2 winners are solo.
Hmm.
So, like, and like, still, if you want to beat it solo, you have to beat the 10 minutes, 12 seconds. So people said, how come you can't give us more time? I like, when they broke the sound barrier, or they break any record, they don't go and redial the record, that so the next guy can, set a new record.
Hmm.
No, you have to beat that person's record.
Hmm.
So you have to beat David's record in order to become the new champion for single. But for dual, there's nobody. But now I'm thinking about changing the record, the contest a little bit. I'm thinking about making it 7,000 rupees, not 2,000 rupees.
Hmm.
And the reason being is that when it's 2,000 rupees, like, if you lose, you only have to pay 2,000 rupees. So people are also taking it too easy. Like, it's not a challenging for them. I think if you have to pay 5,000 rupees if you lose, or 7,000 if you lose, you will feel a little bit more eager
Hmm.
to win, instead of like, oh yeah, who cares? 2,000 rupees ka nickel, yeah, so what?
Hmm.
But if you have to, if you're like this guy Akam Bedi, he challenged for it about a month ago. He challenged for it, and he was like, Dave sir, 2,000 के बहुत कम हो गया. So I said, okay, आपका कितनी चाहिए? I think you should have like 30,000-40,000 rupees. So I agreed with him that we'll do it for 10, 10,000.
Hmm.
So I brought 10,000 rupees, and he came, and I said that if you lose, you're paying me 12, and if you win, I give you 12 plus goodies.
Hmm.
And he's like, I think 2,000 is okay. And I'm like, Yarto, what happened? You were so confident that you were that you should make 12,000 if you win. You should also pay 12,000 if you lose. I mean, there's no risk, no reward. If I'm going to lose 10,000 rupees or 12,000 rupees, let me tell you, I will try very hard
Hmm.
to beat it.
Not lose. Hmm.
Put serious effort. If you're just losing 2,000, it's like, so what?
Hmm. Very interesting. Okay. Comfort food when your mood is off.
When my mood is off, what kind of comfort? I like pizza.
Hmm.
For pizza, I like Dochi. I like Dochi Pizza in Sector 7. I don't go drive up to Kasali that often, but
Hmm.
Dochi is very nice. They have really good pizza.
Hmm.
Or my other comfort food place is this restaurant, So Deli, in Sector 7. They make Mughlai cuisine,
Mm-hmm.
and oh man, I could just sit there and eat and eat and eat. Their food is just, they make you feel so nice, very genuine owners and chef, but their hospitality is very nice, but I just love their food.
Mm. Okay. Chandigarh street food. Which have you ever tried any Chandigarh street food?
Street food, golgappes, तेईस
Mughlai.
sector में,
Hmm.
23 sector ke golgappe wala.
Hmm.
There's a golgappa. Now he's become very famous,
Hmm.
but his golgappas are really good.
Hmm. Okay.
Oh, and Sai Sweets also
Uh-huh.
for their aloo tikki and chole bhature.
Uh-huh. Okay. Now let's do a fun rapid fire. California or Chandigarh? Which city would you prefer more?
Well, I'm living in Chandigarh for the last 10 years and living in India the last 18 years, so
Hmm.
I think I'm okay with Chandigarh.
Okay. So what is the difference that you felt when you were there in America and here in India?
Um, I don't know. The thing that I miss most about California, I miss the beaches. I lived in on beaches for most of my life.
Hmm.
So I miss the crashing waves, and I miss going surfing, and I miss that freer lifestyle there in some ways. But I like being like, see there, I was always working for someone. I didn't own the restaurant. I was
Hmm.
the chef for a restaurant.
Hmm.
When you work for someone, you're also always at their whim. If though they decide that their profit and loss is not matching
Hmm.
to where they need to be,
Hmm.
they will just let you go.
Hmm. What are the qualities that you have from your mom's side and then your dad's side as well?
From my mom's side, my mom was a great educator. She was a PhD in psychology. She ran the Somerset County School District as child psychologist at a young age. She had a master's in English. She was an English teacher. Um, from my mom's side, my Nanaji, he was in the U.S. Navy. He was a petty officer in the United States Navy. He had been a postmaster at one time.
Hmm.
He was a phenomenal chef. Just okay home chef, but he was a phenomenal home chef. I remember
So did
all
you
the.
get it from him
I think
somewhere?
so. I
Hmm.
get like I just remember sausages and making turkey with giblet gravy and making meatballs and um, uh, all sorts of things. When I was young, Grandpa used to be the most fabulous chef,
Hmm.
and I loved going out with him and living. He was in a retirement home when I was a kid, and I just remember spending lots of great times with him. And he was really like the closest. Like my parents used to go a lot to. They used to like to take.
Hmm.
When I was very young, they used to take these romantic getaways all the time.
Hmm.
And this was before my sisters were born.
Hmm.
So they would leave me with my grandpa and grandma, and they would go off to Cape Cod for the weekend or go to New Orleans or go somewhere else. And I would be stuck with my grandpa. So for a long time, I didn't get a really that big attachment to my parents
Hmm.
as I did with my Nana G. My Nana G was like everything to me.
Hmm.
But he was a really great guy. I really,
Hmm.
really miss him the most. And
Hmm.
my grandmother was handicapped, so he used to take care of her all the time.
Hmm.
And the same neurological disease that made my mother retire came from my grandfather, my
Genetic.
grandmother. It's genetic. Even I have it. It's in remission. It's not. It's not been. It's like it's in my veins. I already had it. Genes. I already had it investigated because I was worried about. It's a very degenerative disease, so I was worried that this could happen before I got married to Preeti. I didn't want to burden her with all these things. It's really horrible if you're going to marry someone, and you suddenly find out that, oh my God, this can make you crippled or like die or something. I don't want to give that kind of burden to my wife. But it's in not remission, but it's there, but it's not jumping out anywhere anytime soon. So I'm pretty okay with that.
Hmm.
And from my dad's side, um, my BG doted on me when I used to live here in India and come to India. She would make kheer in big 10-liter batches, and I would eat it all. I
बीच में तो दादी ना?
Dadi.
दादी, हुँ।
So Dadi would like she really spoiled me. She only grandson, so um, that was a real big thing. She would really spoil me, and when would spend time here, living here with Dadaji also, Dadaji used to make mango kulfi all the time, and I used to go and he would put. We had those old refrigerators, rack hold or whatever, old single door refrigerators, and he'd put the kulfis in the kulfi. Those aluminum kulfi containers and throw them in the freezer. And at nighttime, when he would come to open them up for the kulfi, I would have eaten them all.
हुँ,
So I used to get yelled at a lot.
हुँ।
But my grandfather and grandmother, Dada and Dadi, really loved me a lot. And there were like my dad had been a lot of things in life. He was a model back in the 50s. He was a model. And
Uh-huh, your
yeah,
dad.
yeah, he was.
Wow.
There's this. I was. I have a, picture of him from a magazine on my wall, but I was on Reddit and I was looking at this ABC Daisy, which is one of the subreddits,
Mhm.
and I was reading it, and this guy shared a photo, and it was my dad. And I was like, "Oh my God, that's my dad." He says, "Oh my, and that guy was telling me that my father was the one that was part of that company that hired your father
Mm.
to, hired your father to do this campaign. So there was this big suiting shirt commercial,
Mm.
whole entire campaign
Mm.
done in the 50s,
Mm.
where for this shirts called Excello, my dad not only modeled the shirts,
Mm.
but all the illustrations are of my father. They are, they're likenesses, illustrations of my father, and then there's one of him signing an autograph for a baseball player.
Mm.
So it's just something weird part of things,
Mm.
life. Then Dad also he was a horticulturist and he was a fireman. He was part of the volunteer fire department for our area,
Mm.
and he sold real estate and he taught physics and he taught biology. He was a school teacher.
Mm.
So he wore many hats before he came back to India and started farming. He was big into the fishery department when he came back to India.
Mm.
So there's like goods, and like he was also a pretty handsome fellow in there. He's mentioned in two or three places in American history. There's a couple of books, especially Quaker books, where they talk about my dad, this flamboyant Sardar
Yeah.
who arrived from India.
Mm.
So, it's really interesting when you read
Wow.
history and you say, oh my God, that's dad.
Mm. So interesting. Okay. One mantra of life that you follow.
Hmm. I believe in giving. I think that like there is something, it's called selfless.
Mm.
Many people think that when you give something to someone or to anyone, that it has to return from that person. But
Mm.
actually, I find that just by giving
Mm.
selflessly, the universe gives back. May not come that same way. It might
Mm.
come many years later. You never know how it's going to come back or where it's going to come back.
Mm.
But I find that definitely there is return
Mm.
on just selfless giving without thought of I'm getting something gain.
Mm. Agreed. I
In
think.
India,
Mm.
Punjabis have the same thing. Sorry,
Mm.
seva is that the gurdwaras,
Mm.
they give the langar and everything. Seva is of the same philosophy of giving without thought of
Expecting that. Mm.
return. Back in the 60s, the late 50s, early 60s, and even the 70s, like all this stuff was very easier to come from India to the US. Now it's
Mm.
very hard. The prices are high. Trump's tariffs don't make it even easier,
Mm.
but all these things are very expensive now. But in those days, it was not that expensive. We used to have really nice Persian carpets and Kashmiri rugs, and we had a pure sandalwood with gold inlay screen, and we had a huge Shiv dancing in Nataraj in bronze. And I remember lots of these little things. We had elephants and all sorts of stuff.
Hmm.
You know, people think American cuisine, for example, is just KFC, McDonald's, Burger King, Chili's,
Hmm.
but it's actually not.
Hmm.
America is a hodgepodge of all these immigrants that have come from abroad and have entered the US. That's why you have hamburgers and hot dogs and pizza and lasagna. All these parts are all Tex-Mex, burritos. It's all American cuisine now.
Hmm.
So, like most of I'm really thankful. Thank you for the really nice podcast,
Thank you so much,
and it's
sir.
been really enjoyable being here.
थैंक यू सो मच सर
So,
आई enjoyed आई थिंक कि ऑडियंस को भी बहुत अच्छा लगने वाला बिकॉज देर आर सो मेनी इंटरेस्टिंग फैक्टर्स अबाउट योर लाइफ एंड योर हिस्ट्री एज वेल दैट वी enjoyed listening and I'm really sure that you guys are going to love it too. So इसी तरह के एपिसोड्स को देखने के लिए हमारे चैनल को लाइक शेयर और सब्सक्राइब ज़रूर करिए. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वॉचिंग.
The dimpled way, चलो सच रह जा सपनों के पीछे बस बैठा जो भी हो तो खुद से ना डर जिंदगी का है ये असर